do that now. All right. I believe we are live now. Although this still says upcoming. Y'all in the chat can let me know if if you can see me, hear me yet. Because I want to make sure I get the link out there. Okay, now I think we're live. Double check what's the situation here. Okay. Let me share that out. Welcome everyone again. We are going to vote for the best new metal album of all time by polling the audience here. So you all have the control. Ultimately, nothing to do with what I think. I will share my thoughts as we go along, but yeah, that's what we're going to be doing for the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. I already see some people popping in. Welcome Astolfo. Welcome Matt. Hike. Not even going to try to pronounce that last name. Thank you. Enjoy all of this. So let's just jump right into it, though. With our very first one, we have Limp Biscuit, Significant Other, versus Papa Roach, Infest. So I'm more, if I had to say which band I'm more of a fan of, I'm more of a Biscuit fan. I don't really like later Papa Roach, but I did own Infest and I listened the shit out of it. I think I still have it on the shelf behind me. I'd have to double check. But let me get the poll up. I think, me personally, Significant Other is a better start to finish listen. It's just a good, like, turn your brain off and have a good time sort of album. And Papa Roach has some of that too, but it's also kind of depressing, which some new metal is, as we know. It's moody stuff. But yeah, the poll is up now in the chat. So you all tell me though, what do you think? Thank you, Vix World, for saying this looks awesome. Oh, don't worry, we'll get to it. It's a bracket fight, so we will go through it just like a sports bracket. The poll isn't letting me see the entire poll, which is kind of annoying. I don't know what's going on with that. Looks like Significant Other is probably going to take it. Why can I not see the entire poll? There we go. Oh yeah, Significant Other running away so far with 64% of the vote, but there's only 11 votes. I know we're just getting started here, so the only Limp Bizkit album that doesn't suck. I would say $3 Bill Y'all is pretty fun, and Hot Dog Flavored Water is a good time too. Like, they're all dumb. Like, they're all really dumb albums, but they're the equivalent to me of watching like an old 90s action movie where you know it's stupid, like Face Off, like The Rock. Like, it's dumb, but it's fun, and it's just a good time. And yeah, it looks like Significant Other is probably going to take this one, so I'm going to go ahead and call it for Significant Other. Moving on, we've got Linkin Park Hybrid Theory versus Coal Chamber's self-titled album. So let me get that one up now. I have to say, like, fan of all of these albums, ultimately. Like, for the most part, I can find enjoyment in pretty much all of them. So let's see. We've got Hybrid Theory, and we got Coal Chamber. I will say, I think Hybrid Theory has aged very well. Still love that album to this day, and I vividly remember the summer it came out. Like, for those of you who are younger and weren't there for that, or, you know, were too young to really appreciate it, like, this was everywhere. Like, it was all over the radio. Like, half the album got played on the radio. And then I remember walking to like a carnival and Crawling was playing over the loudspeakers and you could hear it for like 3 blocks. Like, that's what an institution this album was. Coal Chamber, loved it when I was a teenager. I still enjoy Coal Chamber, but this is probably maybe my least favorite now because it hasn't aged as well, but there's still some jams on there like Loco and Big Truck and all that good stuff. So let's see what the chat has to say. Hybrid 3, this is not surprising, though. It's like almost unfair. Astolfo says, Meteora enters the chat. I still stand by Hybrid Theory way better than Meteora, personally. Let's see. Yeah. Hybrid Theory, this is like no contest. It's really unfair. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's got to be Hybrid Theory. Clearly. All right, so next up, we have Kitty with Spit facing off against Drowning Pool and Sinner. So both I would call somewhat, kind of, sort of, more underdog releases. Technically, Kitty, I guess, is the more kind of underdog here because it had less like mainstream exposure. You didn't hear a lot of Kitty songs on the radio. I do love Brackish, though. Like, that's easily my favorite Kitty song and still enjoy jamming it to this day. But then again, Drowning Pool, Bodies was another one of those like institution songs. Like, you heard that thing on the radio like every hour on the hour. And I miss those days where you would hear that stuff on the radio so frequently. Like, new metal, say what you will about it, but it exposed so many people, including myself, to kind of a big starting point for their metal journey, so to speak. This album's pretty fun too. Like, there's another single. Sinner was another single, which is a pretty catchy one. Raise your hand, I'm a sinner. Yeah. Good stuff. Fun times with both of these albums. Lots of memories. Are we going to get same stream but with thrash metal albums? Yes, I'm planning on probably doing that. Probably before that, melodic death metal albums. And I've already done one for old school death metal. I have a signed Drowning Pool CD. That's great. Isn't Drowning Pool a one-hit wonder? Not exactly. Like, sort of. They had like 3 big hits, I would say. But yeah, they were relatively popular, at least when this album came out. Unfortunately, the original vocalist died, but they're still around. And they just dropped a new album last year, I want to say. I didn't much care for it. Chris liked it. So let's see. Looks like Sinner is taking it. I was kind of curious which way this one would go. Spit is a very fun album, but another one kind of like Coal Chamber where I don't feel like it's aged particularly well. I've revisited it now and it's just okay, but I have fond memories associated with it. But I'm going to give it to Drowning Pool with Sinner. And we'll move on to some more kind of smaller-ish bands. We've got Nonpoint with Nonpoint and El Nino with Revolution. And let me get that into the poll here. These are 2 albums I am a little bit less familiar with. I've listened to both of them, but not as much, and like I don't find them to be as memorable personally. But I know whenever I do a new metal video, I always get that handful of comments. Where's El Nino? Where's Nonpoint? Like, let's talk about it. El Nino working on a new album right now. I've been seeing some singles dropping for that. Haven't been overly impressed with it, but always kind of fun to see these old new metal bands be a part of the kind of resurgence. But yeah, I have less to say about these. Nonpoint has some jams. I do love Rabia, which I can't even remember if that's on this album or if it's a different album. But yeah, they're all right. Somebody said how regarding that. I think was that the previous vote. Yeah. I mean, that's why I love doing these. And I said this in the previous video too. Like, so many people have such an egocentric view and like genuinely think that everybody agrees with them on like, oh, obviously everybody loves this album or this band better. And I love exposing people to polls and broader audiences because you realize, oh, like that's not the only viewpoint. There's some division here. So I'm not seeing a lot of talk about this one, but as far as the poll is going, I'm seeing it leaning towards El Nino, which is a little surprising. I mean, again, I was kind of curious to see which way this one would go, but yeah, not too shocking or anything. So I think I'm going to call it because it's pretty, yeah, it's like 76% at 21 votes. We're going to give it to El Nino. Forgive me, I'm recovering from a cold too. All right, next up, We have Dope with Felons and Revolutionaries, and Spineshank with The Height of Callousness. Both, again, kind of lower level albums, sort of what you'd call like the B tier or even C tier string albums, I would say, of the genre, but both I have, again, fond memories with. Felons and Revolutionaries, I think, is uh, not being a huge Dope fan. I would say it's probably their best album. I still enjoy it. I like it's more kind of industrial flair, and it's again kind of a like dumb, turn your brain off kind of album, but it's got some head bobbing tunes to it. I almost could have faced them off against Orgy, but I can't remember. I might have done them with Static X, so we'll see. But and then I guess Spineshank fits too, because Spineshank's got some industrial flair too. I'm probably gonna spell this wrong. All right, so the poll is up. Personally, I find Felons and Revolutionaries to be more re-listenable. I listen to it frequently. Well, more frequently than some of these other ones. Spineshank, last listen, even though I remember really enjoying this album, it didn't hold up that well for me. But I know it's another album where I get a lot of love for it. I see a lot of people saying they're big Spineshank heads still to this day. So, what's the poll gonna have to say? Not seeing a lot in the chat. I don't know what's going on with that, but feel free. Maybe you just are less familiar with these albums, and that's fine too. So I see Dope kind of taking the lead here, but it's close. It's 53-47 in their favor with just 19 votes. Kind of curious. I'll give that one a little bit longer just to see. Okay, it's 55% now. By the way, again, if you want to support me extra, right under every video, like down just under the video, there's a merch section, or you can go to the merch or store tab. You can buy merch. It's got an awesome design that Corey from Zombie Shark, who has done designs for all sorts of awesome bands, like you'll recognize some of his album covers. Great. He did a nice Skeletor cartoon treatment for me. So you can support that way, or you can support on the Patreon for early access to videos. I'm going through some stuff right now, so any financial support really appreciated, but I'm just thankful people are here watching the videos, and that's a way to support too. But just throwing that out there. Checking in on the poll again. All right, it looks like Dope is barely going to take this one at 55% with 22 votes. Dope, more like Nope. I mean, mostly yes. Like they're far from a great band. Both are cringe. Yes, they're a lot of these are fairly cringe. But you know what? I find cringe to be pretty fun sometimes. I'm gonna call it for Dope with Felons and Revolutionaries, and that brings us to Sevendust with Home versus Mushroom Head with what number is it? Is it 13? I forget. It doesn't help that one Roman numeral looks like an F instead of a a 1. I believe it's 13. That would kind of make sense too. Never been a big Mushroom Head fan. I've said this a few times. I always found it odd too. Like I remember seeing them as a kid and expecting them to like sound like Slipknot because of the masks and just the overall look. But they really sound more like Faith No More. And I love Faith No More, but they're like a Faith No More like great value version in my opinion. So let's go with Sevendust Home and Mushroom Head again. I think it's 13. I can double check that just to make sure I'm getting this right. It just shows you what little of a Mushroom Head fan I am, especially considering this album was really big. Like I remember a lot of people. Yeah, it is 13. A lot of people were really into this album. People I know too. But yeah, I was just never really into it. So let me put that poll up. Okay, there it is. Dollar Store, Slipknot, and Mudvayne. More or less. Sevendust, though, like Lejean, even though I'm not a huge Sevendust fan, I will be doing a Sevendust tier list when that new album drops. And I have gone through their full discography now, except for the new one. And Home, great album. Like, this one held up really well. They've got some other solid albums, too. I like the one I think right after this one too. But regardless of even album quality, I do think Lejean is one of the best vocalists in new metal by far. Up there just in metal in general. Like he's got a fantastic voice. Mushroomhead, a little clunky, a little weird. At least they're unique. They're interesting. They stand out a little bit. So I could see this going either way, but I'm definitely personally more of a Sevendust fan, and it looks like that's the way the poll is going too. I'm seeing 83% towards home with 23 votes. What else the chat got to say? Can you also vote no on both bands? No, you cannot. Not allowed. We do not do that here. I do enjoy Sevendust. What other album from them should I check out? Again, the one right after this one, Animosity, is quite good too. I enjoy Animosity quite a bit. It really isn't a bad Sevendust album. I think once you get past Animosity, things start to get a little uneven. But we'll talk about that more when I get to that tier list. Limp Bizkit for the win. Love that Sevendust album. Genuinely feels like a greatest hits. Yeah, every song on Home is really good. AO wishing you the best with the life change. Yeah, thank you. For updates on people who saw the community post and everything, I've already done like 4 interviews now. I have 2 more tomorrow, another one Friday, and another one next Thursday. So there are options opening up. I'm just trying to figure out like what makes the most sense and what's gonna work out the best. But it's definitely been a little stressful. So I appreciate all the well wishes. I've had fans reach out to me and like even offer me places where I can apply and supporting with like resume and things like that, which I haven't had to do in a long time because I worked at this place for over 12 years, y'all. It was pretty big deal, but I'm doing okay and we're doing okay so far. So this one's going to home clearly. Yeah, so we'll give it to that and move on to the next one. Chimera with the impossibility of reason. I think is that this one? I want to make sure I'm saying the right album name because sometimes I get it wrong. Because there were 2 album covers that were kind of similar. Or is this yes, this is that one. Okay. Yeah, there were 2 pretty popular Chimera albums that were like back to back. But yeah, this is The Impossibility of Reason. And then American Head Charge with The War of Art. Now, if you have not listened to American Head Charge, I have to say this album's a banger. Like front to back banger. Like so many great like scream along moments. Got that industrial, both of these have kind of an industrial flair to them. And yeah, personally, I think as a whole, honestly, I prefer The War of Art. But this is a great Chimera album too. I enjoy them. I actually saw Chimera live opening for Slipknot with Fear Factory way back. This was like pre Volume 3, I want to say. Somewhere right around there. So that was a long time ago that I saw that. And they did the Wall of Death in like this little theater. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, both good choices. Again, kind of more on the industrial side. Would recommend listening to either of these. I think they both hold up pretty well, even though they have their cringe elements for sure. I haven't put the poll in yet, so let me do that. Gonna get that in there. So The Impossibility of Reason and The War of Art. And go. So let's see. Where's $3 bill, y'all? I limited it to 1 album per band. I kind of stuck to like the biggest album. You could argue some of these you could go with a different album. Like you could also go with Chocolate Starfish for Limp Bizkit and so on, but these are the ones I chose. Also sorry y'all for not chatting much, but no, you're good, man. Like nobody's worried about that. You got to do what you got to do. God knows I'm only in the Discord so much, especially right now, because I'm just busy with a lot of different stuff right now. Gold Cobra for life. That Chimera album isn't new metal. I would say it is. Like, I would say this album is. Once you get further past this, it turns more into straight groove metal. But I would still say there's enough new metal elements in this album to call it that. Level should be on here. That Chimera album is not really new. I would say it is. I'm going to argue that. Debut's definitely new metal. Definitely not metalcore. I'm gonna get into a big argument too that Lamb of God and Chimera are not metalcore. They're groove metal. Metalcore separate thing. I could get into a whole thing about that. Not gonna not gonna get not gonna get crazy about that. Issues in LD50 isn't fair. How do you vote on that? I know it's gonna be a tough one. It'll be interesting when we get to it. But looks like we're leaning towards Chimera, which I'll go with y'all. 69%. 69 dudes. Yeah, we'll go with Chimera, even though my vote's for American Head Charge. Again, if you have slept on this album, especially if you're a new metalhead, go listen to it. It is so much fun. But moving along, we have Soulfly's debut self-titled album and Static X with Wisconsin Death Trip. Now, this is the first like really hard one for me. I love both of these albums to death. Wisconsin Death Trip, easily my favorite Static X album. One of my favorite like industrial metal albums too. And then that Soulfly debut goes so hard. It's so raw. There's so many great guest spots on it too. Probably one of the heaviest appearances of Fred Durst of all time too on what's the name of that song? It'll come to me. But there's a Chino Moreno spot on here that's really good. And even when there's not a guest spot, I also love on old Soulfly, even though I like newer Soulfly too. I love the more tribal elements, like the incorporation of those tribal drums and the Portuguese lyrics and all of that. Like, it's just such a trip. It's so cool. Big Soulfly fan. Garbage truck is coming in, so if you hear beeping in the background, I apologize for that. But let me go ahead and get the poll started for this one. Again, we've got Soulfly, and we've got what do we what do we got again? That distracted me. Oh, there's a Wisconsin Death Trip. Great songs on both of these albums. Both great start to finish albums too. Like both in my top 10, top 20 new metal albums of all time. Uh-oh, we got a visitor here. Where is Infest? That was at the beginning, so that already got voted on. Static X for me. Infest lost. Never gets old. Ugh, why you gotta make me choose between my kids? I know, it feels that way with this one. Machine's my favorite Static X album. I like Wisconsin Death Trip way better than Machine personally, but I know some Machine lovers out there. Static X, Chimera, Instant Kill. Hope they get back for good. Cheers from Poland. Thank you. Bleed. Oh, also, I believe super chats are on too, so that's another way that you can support too if you feel like doing that. But anyways, Wisconsin Death Trip, personal favorite. Saw Chimera in Cleveland. That sounds cool. Soulfly, extremely good. Wow, I kind of expected this to be a little bit more split, but Wisconsin Death Trip taking it the fuck away at 74% right now with 35 votes in. But I see a lot of love for both of these. Just tuned in. Totally cool, man. Like middle of the day on a Wednesday, this is not an ideal time to be doing a live stream, but it's when I had time, so that's how it comes down to. But yeah, it looks like Wisconsin Death Trip taking it away with 3/4 of the vote. Most of those Portuguese lyrics are so far very cringe. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I mean, as somebody who speaks English and doesn't understand it, like it sounds cool to me. But I could totally see that. I've heard that about some like Rammstein lyrics and stuff like that from some Germans too. But other people say they're extremely clever. Shadow Zone, Static X's last good album. I disagree. Like, I don't love Shadow Zone. Cannibal goes hard. And again, I will do a Static X tier list this year too, because they've got that part 2 album coming out as well. But yeah, Wisconsin Death Trip. Clear winner of this one. Love that Soulfly album, but the mob has spoken. So let's now wrap up this bracket on the left side. So now, getting harder here, we've got Significant Other versus Hybrid Theory. Another tough one for me. I think overall, I got to give it to Hybrid Theory. I just think it's a better rounded album. I enjoy re-listening to it more. But man, Significant Other is such a fun time too. So let's see what the audience has to say. So Hybrid Theory and Significant. I have a feeling I know which way this is going to go, but I'll open to being surprised. Like, those are my favorite moments of these videos, when y'all surprise me. So never vote just because I said a particular direction. But, okay, yeah, we're... this is kind of what I expected. Hybrid Theory taking a fast lead. Oh, yeah. This is pretty much over. You significant other Limp Biscuit fans better get in there quick if you want to... Ooh, I'm in a mob. Yes, you are. Limp all the way. Linkin Park overrated. I do think as a band personally, and this is kind of sacrilege, but as a band, I do find not Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park to be kind of overrated. But Hybrid Theory, no. Like, Hybrid Theory is like, in my mind, Hybrid Theory is like almost a perfect album. I will go so far as to say that. But yeah, they took this one. 78% of the vote with 37 votes. Gonna go ahead and call it as my daughter walks in. Hey there. Chippies? Okay, I'll get them for you 1 second. I might have to take a little quick detour here. I'll put up the next poll while I do that. So yeah, Hybrid Theory taking it, which brings us to Drowning Pool versus El Nino. Another battle of the kind of underdogs, I would say. So let me get that one up. So we've got Sinner versus Revolution. And put that up there. All right, I will be back in 2 seconds. All right, let's see. And the vote goes to Sinner. Drowning Pool. Not too surprising. I feel like of the two, they're kind of still the more popular band, the better known band. And now we're at Dope versus Sevendust. I think this one's a pretty easy one for me. I'll be curious if it is for all of you too. But yeah, we've got Felons and Revolutionaries. I'm just going to shorthand that name. And Home from Sevendust. Yeah, my vote on this one's pretty easy, even though I enjoy both. Sinner all the way. Linkin Park lost their new metal sound, 2010s. That's when they got overrated. I appreciate a band that just does what they want to do, though, so I can respect that, even if I didn't like the music. John Wayne, hey man, I love you, bro. Keep up with the great work, dude. You're truly amazing. Thank you so much. Like, y'all make me happy. Sent a super chat, was charged, didn't pop up. That's weird. Well, I appreciate the super chat. I don't see it on my end either, so I'll have to figure out what the deal is with that. There might be something wrong with the settings, but I appreciate it anyways. If you want to say something related to the super chat, feel free to, because chat's pretty slow anyways. Appreciate what you do. Hope it went through. This one is hard for me. Okay, but it looks like Home taking it, which yeah, I gotta give it to Home. Easy peasy for me, but both fun albums. So now we've got Chimera, The Impossibility of Reason versus Static X, Wisconsin Death Trip. Again, kind of industrial versus industrial kind of stuff here. Let me end that one. Start the next poll. A lot of polls here. Okay. So we got The Impossibility of Reason, which I will just abbreviate, versus Wisconsin Death Trip, which I will also abbreviate. Because writing some of these titles out gets annoying. So what's it going to be? Wisconsin Death Trip for Static X, or The Impossibility of Reason for Chimera? Again, my vote, I'm with Static X all the way on this one. Love Chimera, but like, this album's just undefeatable in this matchup, in my opinion. What was the best concert you've been to? Honestly, I gotta say, Toke, here in Portland at Dante's several years ago. It was like the year before they got like banned from here. What a great show! Like even my wife, who is not that into metal at all, like drag her to a black metal show. She had such a blast. Like she loved every second of it. And man, Host is just like such a showman. Like he is just a rock and roll star basically on stage. So that was probably the best show I've seen. I've seen a lot of good ones though. I'd argue Chimera doesn't belong in this category. I already said I argue that their first two or so albums are pretty new metal, but you know it is what it is. Static X easily, Impossibility, Hard, Chimera, Too Groove to Beat. They get a lot more groove, but I think at this point there's still a lot of re-listen to those early albums. Though there's a lot of like new metal tropes in this album. But yeah, Static X taking it, and that brings us to Linkin Park versus Drowning Pool. This one should be. I already know. Like I don't even have to say it. Like this is gonna be a quick one. I really don't think there's going to be a surprise here, but maybe you will surprise me. Hybrid Theory versus Sinner. Put that up on the board. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm sure Drowning Pool appreciates the like one vote for Sinner, but come on, like there's no chance. Like I'm gonna call it already. Like it's done. You know, Hybrid Theory goes through, and so are we on? Okay, this is our final matchup for the left side here. So Sevendust home. Oh no, it's not the final matchup. We will have the final matchup in a second. So Sevendust home versus Wisconsin Death Trip. A little bit harder one for me, but let's see what you all think on here. So, yeah, home versus Wisconsin Death Trip. Sinner was at 100% when I voted first. Riff Drowning Pool. Nice work, Matt. You did the band proud, though. I'm sure they appreciate the support. And they deserve it. They're a fun band. They write some catchy songs. Linkin Park all day, every day. My favorite new metal band, System of a Down. We will get to a System album on the other side momentarily. All right, this one going pretty strong for Wisconsin Death Trip. Little creep up from Sevendust here, but it's like 71-29 right now with 31 votes. So I think we probably can just go ahead and call it for Wisconsin Death Trip. Going once, going twice. Sold for Wisconsin Death Trip. I think I'd agree. I do really enjoy home, but Wisconsin Death Trip better. And so here's the final matchup of the left side. Hybrid Theory versus Wisconsin Death Trip. Now, this is a tougher one for me too. I think I know how this is gonna go, but again, y'all surprise me here. I won't even ruin it here, but man, both great albums in their own rights. Both still hold up in my opinion. Both very fun, both very catchy, very different albums. So let's see. What are y'all going to go with? What's it going to be? Like both of these two, like pretty much every song is a banger in my opinion. Okay, it's kind of split. Oh, it's kind of split. I wasn't expecting that. I thought Hybrid Theory might just completely take it away, but Hybrid Theory is in the lead with 56%, but Wisconsin Death Trip holding pretty strong with 46. 46 to 54 right now. Get your votes in. Not even sure how many people are in the room at the moment, but if you Static X fans, you have a chance. You have a chance to turn this over, so I'll let it stand for a little bit here. What's Head PE hold up against? I believe there's a Head PE album on here, so we'll get to that in a minute. Saw Static X at House of Blues on Sunset when I was 13. It was magical. Yeah, unfortunately, I never got to see them live, and I'm one of those people where once the like main lineup is gone. Like, I'm just not really interested in seeing them anymore, so I'll probably never see them. Although I will say, this whole Robot Zero character looks really cool on stage. I have mixed feelings about it overall and the execution, but it looks really neat. Oh, here's the super chat. I don't know if it's that same one and it just took that long to come through, but yeah, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Every dollar helps, y'all. Like every little thing. Let me turn this on silent. What's this saying? This is actually a job response thing, so I might actually want to take a look at it. Okay, it's just confirming. Yeah, my thing for tomorrow. So that's good. Yeah, it looks like Hybrid Theory is taking it. It's very close. Very, very close, but I'm going to call it for Hybrid Theory. RIP to Wisconsin Death Trip, but it is what it is. So this concludes half of the bracket. Let's move on to the new stuff on the right side. So we've got Disturbed, The Sickness versus Slipknot with Slipknot. Easy one for me. Personally, I've never been a huge Disturbed fan, as I said in my Disturbed tier list, although it was fun to do that, and I enjoyed doing that more than I thought I would. A couple albums in that discography I had a good time with, but Slipknot was the album that really kind of started it all for me officially. Like, I had heard plenty of metal stuff before that, but that was the first time, like, all the way through I heard something that heavy at like 16 years old. So that was a pretty big deal for me. What did I accidentally added an extra option here, and now I don't know how to get rid of it. And it won't let me get rid of it. What's going on here? There we go. Okay. Poll is up. So yeah, Slipknot, again, easily my favorite Slipknot album. I love Iowa, but this one has a special place in my heart. I love how just dark and raw and the atmosphere is just like, I will continue to say, still to this day, even as somebody who listens to stuff like Imperial Triumphant and Gorguts and all this other stuff now, I think Slipknot is still one of the heaviest albums just in sheer raw intensity that you can find. So love that one. The Sickness is fun. You know, it's got the ooh-ah-ah-ah, right? So there's that. But to me, it's like, it can't even compete. I think David's a fine vocalist too. Like, I think he has some range. But yeah, I gotta go with Slipknot, and it looks like the audience is too. Early knockout for Disturbed. 93% of the vote for Slipknot at 46 votes. Not too surprising, but I know we've got those Disturbed fans. Have I seen Korn live? Yes, I saw Korn live at a big stadium during the Untouchables tour. So again, way back when, we were way in like the nosebleed seats, and Puddle of Mud opened for them. And I have to say, they were really good. Like, I'm not a Puddle of Mud fan, but they were a solid opener. They put on a good. It was almost like watching a 90s grunge band perform, the way that they put the energy in it back then. Does this include Purity? Yeah, I would. I mean, my version I've collected all the like extra songs over the years, like Get This. And yeah, all of that. This is hard. Slipknot. Disturbed, to be honest. Eager to vote for Disturbed. Vote Disturbed out of here. Album started it all for you. Yeah, it was a big album, I think, for a lot of people. Just turn and played on the radio. I mean, Wait and Bleed. Like, I miss that time where like a song as heavy as Wait and Bleed could like chart and be on the radio. Like, that's just so. We've gone backwards on that level. Like, there's so many other outlets for music now, so like that's better for bands ultimately, but I miss the radio stuff. Weird lineup. 10,000 Fists is Disturbed's best album, period. I disagree. I'm much more what is it? Unstoppable or whatever, the one that sounds like that. See, I don't remember the name of the album, but that one I enjoy more. But yeah, this one clearly with 90% of the vote going to Slipknot. Let's move along to here's System of a Down. I went back and forth on whether I was going to do Toxicity or the self-titled. Personally, I like the self-titled more, but this was the bigger album, So I went with that. And then same with Deftones. I could have also gone with Around the Fur. But White Pony's my personal favorite. And I think that was overall probably the bigger album. But you could argue it. So let me get that pull up. This one, a little bit tough for me, but I'm a diehard Deftones fanboy for the most part. But that System album, I don't know. Both of these albums have their own kind of experimental, weird, unique qualities that stand out. So let me get Toxicity and White Pony. I mean, if we're going for drumming, go with Toxicity. If we're going for atmosphere and songwriting overall, I'd go with White Pony. Toxicity's got some kind of like goofy tracks on it, even though I enjoy it start to finish. So again, I prefer White Pony overall, but this was another like big formulative album for me. I remember seeing Chop Suey music video premiere on like VH1 in my friend's basement where we'd always hang out. And then I remember having to choose between this album and Iowa on like a road trip. My dad said he'd buy me one of them. And I think I picked Toxicity and went back and got Iowa later. White Pony though, man, like talk about like a life-changing album. Like I had never heard anything like that, period. So, and still holds, it's still one of my all-time favorite albums. Like top 10 probably albums of all time, any genre, period. That's how much I love that album. Vote though is going for Toxicity. It breaks my heart a little bit, but again, this is all audience poll. So Summer Sanitarium Tour, early 2000s, excited for Deftones, Mudvayne, did not want to see Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit. Guess who stole the show? I believe it. Nonpoint underrated. Hype to not vote White Pony. Fuck you. We're not friends anymore. We were friends, now we're not. No, it's cool. Difference of opinions are welcome here. Crazy Town's Dark Horse album. Yes, I am. Toxicity, but Deftones is good too. Toxicity. Crazy Town's God Awful Live. Dude, why did you have to do this to me? I know, it's so hard. It's so hard. And it breaks my heart that my favorite album, one of my favorite albums of all time, is going to lose here. But Mid Pony, god damn you. White Pony overrated in my opinion. Man, go back and listen to it though. Like every song is different. Every song is awesome. There's a flow to it. Like it's such a good album. But we'll give it to Toxicity. Breaks my heart, but it is what it is. So let's move on to Taproot Gift, one of my favorite underdog albums. One of my favorite nu metal albums of all time, honestly, even though like it barely got the time of day. I've seen them live too. Way back when they were touring for the album after this. What was that? Welcome, I think. So we've got Gift. Easily their best album. I don't really like any of their other albums. And then Incubus, I always say Incubus is not a nu metal band, but Science is a nu metal album for sure. And I love early Incubus. I love Science. Such a fun and again unique album. Nu metal gets shit on so much for just being like dumb, but honestly, like some of the most unique albums out there, outside of like avant-garde, come from nu metal in my opinion. Like just stuff that you're not going to hear anywhere else. Like I think there was a lot more creativity and talent going into it than people sometimes give it credit for. I also love Morning View and Make Yourself. Crow Left of the Murders pretty good too, but like those three are like the trilogy for me. Science, Make Yourself, and Morning View. Still love all those albums. I was a huge Incubus fan. Like they were one of my favorite bands for a while. But Gift has some really banger songs on it. If you have not listened to that, one of my favorite examples of a vocalist quickly switching between like the nasally clean singing and the screams and just kind of like syncopating those elements. And then Brandon Boyd is just like an all around stellar vocalist. I wanted to be him like, and for a lot of different reasons. But yeah, man, this takes me back to the 2000s for sure. Incubus, Taproot all day. Incubus is whack. I'd say Incubus is whack now, but man, back then, like they were the shit. They were the shit. I'm not surprised to see Incubus take this, but again, this is another one where I say, if you have not listened to Taproot's Gift, please do. It is really good. But yeah, Incubus taking it with Science. Such a great album. All right, we have Cold with 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage and Stained with Break the Cycle. And Aaron Lewis actually does a song on Cold. The last song, it's just like an acoustic track. I'm forgetting the name of it. It escapes me right now, but pretty good song. I think it's called like Let It Bleed or something along those lines. Excuse me again. Let me get the poll started. I'm not even going to write. I guess I will this one time. 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage from Cold. And Break the Cycle. Now, Break the Cycle was another one of those, like, top of the charts, blew everyone away, like, huge album that you could not escape on the radio. It definitely, certain songs got overplayed, like it's been a while, but I still love this album. I think it's very well written. Again, it's another one where I love the atmosphere of it. Like, it really captures, like, especially as somebody who works in mental health and sometimes works with people who have addiction issues, like, just that misery and that bleak loneliness and isolation of your addiction, which Aaron Lewis is talking about a lot on this album, really comes through. So you can call it corny. You can say it's overrated, overplayed, but I think it's a fantastic album that I still enjoy. Cold, also a good album. Just Got Wicked is a sick opener. Like, I love that guitar riff too with the burnout, burnout. Like, really fun guitar work on here. Some pretty solid sing along lyrics too. Both good albums, but yeah, not surprised to see Break the Cycle, excuse me, pulling away with this one with 61% of the votes. Midroot's Gift is a punishment, not a gift. Man, rough. Fungus Among Us. Oh god, these both kind of suck. Bro, go back and re-listen to these. I'm telling you, they're better than you remember. They're better than you remember. I think a lot of people will look back on these albums and they have not listened to them in years, maybe even like over a decade. Go back and give them a re-listen. That's all I always ask people. If you re-listen to it, you still hate it, you still think it sucks, that's fine, valid. But if you're going off like your memory from over a decade ago, like, I won't accept that. I will not. Still good. Yeah, so Break the Cycle, taking it 38 votes, 61% of the vote. I'm going to call it, not surprised. All right, we got POD with the Fundamental Elements of Southtown, and here's Head PE with Head PE. I went back and forth of whether I was going to go with Broke, and also for POD we could go with, what was it, Satellite, I think. Was that just the single or was that the album name? I can't remember. But yeah, we're going with these ones. Southtown, banger of a track. Still love jamming that one. There's an acoustic version of Southtown too, which was one of my favorite things to do, was like dig up on like LimeWire, like acoustic versions of a lot of new metal tracks, and that's a really good one. Let's see, the Fundamental Elements of Southtown. Rest of the album's kind of hit and miss for me personally. And then as far as Head PE goes, like, this is a great album. Another one too, released on a hip hop label. And it fits because they're like actually like pretty influenced by hip hop, funk, all sorts of punk music. Like, they really run the gamut. I think Head PE is another kind of like somewhat underrated band, honestly. What is happening with my poll here? There's something going wrong. Let me restart this. Fundamental Elements of Southtown. And it might not have accepted the maybe no, why is it being weird? Oh, is it too long? Maybe I'll abbreviate this. Okay, there we go. That's why. It was too long. Okay, but yeah, this Head PE album, great debut. Like, really fun, really unique, fast, lots of different styles. Head PE, I will say, like one of those very cringy lyrics bands, but really fun and really creative. Has Primer 55 been ranked yet? I don't think I made room for Primer 55 because I only had so many slots. But I do remember having one of their albums. Mid Theory less than Meteora. Nope. Nope. Voted cold. Break the Cycle more. That was a decade ago. Man. Yeah, I appreciate you being here though and like catching up on all these albums. It does warm my heart too when I see kids like my daughter's age walking around in like a Korn t-shirt or something. I'm like, hell yeah. That's what I like to see. Love both. Just something about breaks. Primer. A lot of people just keep saying Primer 55. Tala better be here. I'm going with classic new metal, so Tala's not on here. I do love Tala though, as you all should well know by now. POD's version of Bullet, the blue sky in the album is phenomenal. I'll have to listen to it again. POD live, great. More of a groove metal album. And POD taking it. Pretty close though. 55% of the vote, 29 votes. Again, I'd say POD is definitely the bigger band here. I wonder how many of you have actually listened to Head PE, but again, I would recommend listening to this and Broke at least. They have some other scattered good stuff too, but never been a huge POD fan. All right, we have another classic here. Powerman 5000 versus one of my favorite underground classics that I've put in multiple videos at this point, begging you all to listen to it. 40 Below Summer, Invitation to the Dance. This album, y'all, is a fucking banger. If you have still not checked it out, please do. I even went and grabbed like a physical copy I could find just because I remembered how much I love this thing. So fun, so good. Lots of just great classic era sounding tracks. Powerman 5000, of course, you've got When Worlds Collide and a couple of other tracks on here, but I gotta say, it's not a very great album, in my opinion. Like, it's known so much for When Worlds Collide, and don't get me wrong, that's like in my top 20 nu metal songs of all time. What is it really? What's going on here? so good. But for me, it's Invitation to the Dance all the way. But let me get that up. So tonight, the stars revolt. There it is. Please, please, please go listen to this 40 Below Summer album. It is so good. But yeah, Powerman's great. Do love Head PE. Sode sucked live when I saw them. Sorry to hear that. I had never seen them live. 40 Below Summer sweep. Oh, it's taking it. Yeah, I hope it's not just because I said it. I'm hoping it's because like a lot of you have gone out and now discovered this album because it is so good. Like let me hear the love for like your favorite songs on this album. Like Rope is so good. I'm at the end of my rope. It's one of those great like scream along albums. Yeah, Rope is a great song. There it is. Yeah. Rob Zombie, Spaceman, brother. Haven't heard Powerman yet. 40 Below Summer by default. Lots of albums here I need to listen to. Yeah, lots of fun to revisit from this era. Like this was my like late middle school, early high school experience before I branched out into like metalcore and melodic death metal, symphonic black metal, and it snowballed from there. But yeah, We the People, what a jam. We the People must jump. So corny, kind of cringe, but goddamn, just a fun time. This makes me very happy. 72% going for Invitation to the Dance. I think it's well deserved too. I doubt they'll last much longer when we get to the next bracket, but I don't care. Happy to see him move forward. All right, we have Dry Kill Logic with The Darker Side of Nonsense and Edema with it was just a self-titled, right? Edema. I remember my uncle, rest his soul, because he passed away a few years ago, got me this Edema album, I think for Christmas. Which is always funny thinking about like family members who have no idea about this music getting you stuff like that. But yeah, I remember that. And then I also remember not only listening to this Dry Kill Logic album, but there was a used record store at the mall we would always look through, and there would always be like 5 copies of The Darker Side of Nonsense in there. So I saw a lot of that album cover. Dry Kill Logic, a band that's got some banger tracks, but I never like found an album from them I truly loved. Edema, also like not great. There's some solid tracks on this album. I forget what the lead single was. I want to say the riff was like dun 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 dun, something like that. Little trivia, in case you didn't know, the lead singer of Edema is Jonathan Davis of Korn's stepbrother, half brother, something like that. Some form of not full blooded brother. Let's see. Vote. Have you heard of a band called .bhp? That sounds kind of familiar. I'd have to check them out. Edema all the way. Must have been a good time. Just been getting into the genre. This one's rough. Mid-band comp. Yeah, they're both pretty mid, I would say, on this one. But I see some love for Dry Kill Logic, some love for Edema. Yeah. Do they have a different singer now? I didn't even know they had a change. Yeah, it's not his full brother though. It's like his stepbrother or his half brother. I forget what it is. Giving In. Yes, I think that was the single. Hey Trenches, can you say ice, bank, mice, elf? What are you getting me? Oh, you're trying to get me to. Okay, I get it. All right, you're not gonna get me with those. I watch way too much Twitch and YouTube to be tricked by any of that. Giving In was the single. Yeah. Have you heard Sunk Lodo? Between Birth and Death is a must listen. I've not. I'll have to check that out too. Thank you. I'm always happy to get more recommendations. I don't always have time to listen to them, but I will try. Edema taking it for this one with 56% of the votes. Mid vote for some pretty mid bands. They're moving on. And then our last matchup here before we progress tiers is Issues versus LD50. And man, this is a tough one. Again, I'm not a huge Mudvayne lover overall. This is the only album I really enjoy from them. I did do a tier list and I pretty much said as much. The album after this is okay. It's probably their second best. But LD50 also in my top 10 new metal albums of all time. Just unbeatable. And not just because of Dig, which is a great track, but man, Nothing to Gain is actually probably my favorite song on the album. And then you've got Death Blooms, and man, they're underrated too because their bass player and drummer are fantastic technical players. Like they're some of the best in the genre, and honestly, too good for this band in many ways. Like they should be in like a prog band. Maybe they are now. I don't even know. But I know they're working on new stuff. I'm not too excited about it given the last few Mudvayne albums, which I think are just hot fucking garbage personally. Some people took issue with me saying that when I did the tier list, but that's how I feel. But love LD50. And then Korn Issues. Favorite Korn album. Really enjoy Korn. Soft spot for Korn too, because even before Slipknot, like I heard Korn on the radio all the time growing up, even as like a little one, like probably going back to like grade school. Because the debut came out in like 94? Something like that. In 94, I was 8 years old. I want to say. So yeah, 8-year-old me hearing like Blind and all that stuff. And then this was more of like a high school album for me. And man, do I still love it. I think every track is fantastic. I even love the interludes. I think it's their best produced album because man, Untouchables gets so overblown and just doesn't sound very good in my opinion. Issues is like perfect with the atmosphere, the songwriting. Every track is like a single, somebody, someone. That big like man, the bass sounds so good. The guitars are just squealing. Jonathan, top form, Falling Away From Me. I remember watching that music video all the time. So yeah, both of these have a special place in my heart. Me personally, I got to go with Issues by a smidge, but man, is it a tough vote. But let me see what the chat's saying. Mudvayne was just mid. LD50 is okay. Whole LD50 is killer. Have you heard My Dixie Wrecked Yet? That sounds vaguely familiar. Issues so good. Yeah, Falling Away From Me, trash. Beg For Me is a great song too. Mudvayne is meh, but the rhythm section is god tier. Absolutely. Like, even if you don't like Mudvayne, you gotta respect the drumming and the bass work. Hate having to vote against Issues, but I gotta go with LD50. Message retracted. Not sure what that was. Issues has my favorite Korn song, Falling Away From Me. Burr, burr, dang. I love, too, that, like, that came back as, like, a meme. And that's been, like, a new... Like, it can be cringe, but these memes are new gateways for younger listeners. Like, I wonder how many people saw that meme, had no idea what it was, looked it up, and got into Mudvayne, and then got into metal as a result of that. Like, that's just magic, in my opinion. Hi, Papa Maskey. Hello to you, too. I personally enjoy the latter Mudvayne albums, but I think it's more of a nostalgic thing. Drumming and bass is incredible. Yeah, bass player. Yeah, Rhino is a awesome bassist. It's a shame that he's remembered so much for the Berber Dang too, because that's not like, he's done much more complex bass work than that, even though it's so memorable. Playmo, watch. I'll have to check out these lists of ones. It worked. Unpopular opinion, but I like the end of all things to come more. I know some people who like that too. It was a kind of a bigger commercial album too. I remember Ghost Ship had Not Falling on the soundtrack, which is a good song. Thanks to Issues, a friend of mine is a metalhead now. She absolutely loved Make Me Bad. Have you ever thought about doing a melodic death album battle? I already have the bracket fight made for that, so that'll probably be the next one. Love melodic death metal, especially the 2000s era and 90s stuff. Issues almost fit 10 out of 10. How I got into metal. Did we get any Deftones or Linkin Park? Yes, we have. Hybrid Theory won the left side of the bracket, so we will circle back to that. Deftones, White Pony lost to Toxicity from System of a Down. Saw the music video for Dig in 2016, thought it was the best thing ever. Granted, I was a freshman in high school. Really hoping Alpha Kenny 1 is included on this list. It is not, unfortunately. So vote is for Issues with 61% of the vote, so LD50 making a strong fight there, but yeah, it's got to be Issues, which circles us back. So now it is Slipknot versus Toxicity. Another tough one, and funny too that they're going head to head, because like I said, I had to choose between Iowa and Toxicity at the store back in the day. This one for me, I think Toxicity is like a more complex album, but I enjoy re-listening to Slipknot more. I think it just goes harder. Just the perfect like head-banging record. Like, it's a great gym album too. Yeah, I don't know. I think my vote would be for Slipknot, but let me see what you all say on this one. I do see Slipknot taking it away for the early vote, but Toxicity inching back up again. But I think Slipknot's taking it because we got 33 votes in, 61% for Slipknot. Slipknot's just incredible. I agree. It's still, again, like White Pony, like Slipknot self-title is one of my all-time favorite albums. Like, people made fun of me when I did my like 25 favorite metal albums of all time video, but I just went with the criteria of, when I looked at my album collection, which ones jumped out at me immediately and like gave me the warm fuzzies, and this obviously made the list. Like, I don't care who's gonna make fun of me that my list isn't more like cult or whatever. I love all that stuff too. I love Enslaved. I love Toke. I love, Deicide, whatever, Cannibal Corpse. I love Imperial Triumphants, but soft spot for the self-titled always. And it looks like Slipknot is taking it with 59% of the vote. Relatively close, but yeah, Joey's snare sound, man, is just violence. It is just pure violence. It's just craterous. So Slipknot progresses. Now we've got Science versus Break the Cycle. This could be an interesting one. Two very different albums. We've got the like goofy, funky, experimental album versus the very dark, melancholy Addiction album. Very different vibes to these. I enjoy them both for very different reasons. Break the Cycle was the much bigger album. Like, y'all would not believe how well, especially some of you younger people, how well some of these albums sold. Like, I'm talking, like, I can't remember if it was for Limp Bizkit, Hot Dog Flavored Water, or Significant Other, but it made like top 5 record sales alongside like Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys. That's how well some of these albums sold back then. Like, it was insane. It was insane to think like how some of these albums could do that well on the charts. Wow, 50-50 split vote with 20 votes. That was pretty impressive. Okay, Science taking it now with 25 votes in. Only at 52% though. Get your votes in because this is going to be a nail biter. Surfacing really got me. Yeah, Surfacing's great. Hard to choose, but don't skip a single song on Toxicity. Sorry, I missed a few. Just been looking at news. Passing of Iron Sheik. Oh, wow. I'll have to look at that. Really close one here. 58% going to Science, but very, very close vote here. Break the Cycle still has 42% of the votes. Ironically, my favorite song from Science is Summer Romance. Great song. Great, like there's nothing weird about that. Like that is a fantastic song and really catchy and fun in so many different ways. Recommendations for new metal albums with not really new metal, but for when people say that, I tend to send them to like Glassjaw because I do think Glassjaw have some kind of like new metal spirit in them. They're more from the like post-hardcore metalcore scene, but it does make me think of that. I also think of stuff like Will Haven. I don't know if anybody else has suggestions. Feel free to throw them in the chat too. But it's kind of a rare combination to see that. Have you heard of Four Big Eyes yet? I don't think so. 2 albums I've never heard. Yo, Ivo, listen to both of these. Like they're both really good, especially Science. Like Science might make your brain explode. It's a very weird and interesting album. Yeah, it's going to Science with 63% of the votes. Kind of took a lead there at the end. So I'm going to end that. Interesting to see that beats Break the Cycle, though, because Break the Cycle was a monument of an album. All right, we've got POD, Fundamental Elements of Southtown versus 40 Below Summer, Invitation to the Dance. You all know what I would vote for, but vote for what you would vote for. Don't worry about me. I'm just going to abbreviate the Fundamental Elements of Southtown and then Invitation. I'll just say Invitation. Boom. Poll is up. Break and chat a little bit. Glassjaw is what you call new hardcore. I kind of see that. Don't they have a song that's like called like new something? I can't remember. Oh no. Okay. Invitation pulling ahead, but it's still pretty close. POD holding their own here. Again, I know which album I love start to finish, but POD was definitely the bigger band. But go with what you like. Which one do you prefer? Yeah, Invitation albums goated. Gotta appreciate Doom Guy, always in the Discord, checking out new stuff. He's a true explorer. Trenches, have you heard? Nice one. Trying to get me with that one. Are these all like just puns that you're trying to get me with? Like I get that one. Invitation, such a great record. Spine Shank on here. Spine Shank already got voted out, but yeah, the Heights of Callousness was on here. Oh No Means Hard Pick. Rope and Wither Away, dude. Yeah, Wither Away is another good one for a softer track on that album. All right, looks like. Oh wow, Invitation was winning it, but POD has pulled ahead. So all you like diehard 40 Below Summer fans, throw your votes in. Otherwise, POD's taking it, which again breaks my heart a little bit. But this isn't about me. This is about y'all. This is democracy in action in its purest form here. Man, 51 to 49%. Going once, going twice. Sold to POD with just a 2% split. One of the closest votes we've had. Sorry to see 40 Below go, because there you go. Again, I cannot say enough. If you have not listened to Invitation to the Dance, please go listen to that. But POD progresses. And we got brother against half brother here for Edema versus Issues. Get that poll up. This like is no contest for me. Maybe y'all will shock me here, but I doubt it. All right, Edema and Issues. I don't even know what to say. Like, come on. It's just like, come on with this one. Like, why? Why? It's like not even fair. First Devil Driver album is kind of sort of new metal. But yeah, I didn't include it on here. I do love that first album, though. I just did a Devil Driver tier list if you haven't checked that out. So you can find that on the channel. Astolfo, you goofy. 40 Below, really good. Said, oh gee, I wonder which one is going to win. No brainer. Yeah, I know. So rip to the one person again who voted for Edema. The band loves you for that, but yeah. 37 votes in, already at 95%. I'm just going to call that one. Issues it is. All right, now we've got Slipknot versus Science. Another one I don't think is going to be too hard. Again, I love both very different albums. You got the weird funk fusions and electronic elements of Science, but then you've just got the raw fury of Slipknot and the wrath of Joey's snare tone. Who's the guy that voted for Edema? Somebody who loves Edema. All right, Slipknot running away with this one too. All right, at least one vote for Science. Looks like maybe two now. But yeah, Slipknot running away with this one. Easy peasy, 31 votes. Science didn't stand a chance. Rip to Science again. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. But Slipknot progresses. All right, POD versus Issues. Another one I think is pretty easy, but the fundamental elements of Southtown versus Issues. We're coming up on the end, y'all. Like I'm interested to see which one takes it all. I really am, because I see a lot of arguments about this topic. This isn't Science. We know who's going to win. Best drum tone ever. It's up there. It's up there. Yeah, Issues running away with this one, too. Already 96% with 23 votes. Who's the guy in the Incubus cover? I forget. I remember I looked that up at one point, way back when, but I can't remember. Yeah, Issues. Yep, 38 votes. Issues takes it. Which brings us to... Ooh, see, this is the hard one, though. This is the tough one. Slipknot versus Issues. I don't know. Like, this one's... I've talked about this with people before, too. But I don't know. This is why tier lists are kind of nice, because I can just put them both at S tier and be done with it. If I have to choose one over the other, like, that's near impossible for me. Like, this is an impossible tier vote, so I'm really interested to see. Yeah, it's already 50-50. Oh, splitting off towards Slipknot. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't even know if I can choose. Like, it's so hard. It's so damn hard with this one. Slipknot self-titles best album in the world. I'm the guy. The Science Records. Brandon's dad. Okay. Issues all the way. LD50 best new metal album. Going for Slipknot. Difficult choices. Think it's Slipknot for me. Oh no. Slipknot self-titled, just too inconsistent. I could kind of see that. But no, Slipknot's taking it away. Rip to Issues, I think. We got 52 votes in. 54 votes in, with Slipknot 72% of the votes. So I think I got to call it. I love Issues, and I already pled my case for why I love it so much. But I love both of these albums, and I have such fond memories with both of them. But yeah, it looks like... in the end, it doesn't even matter. As I say, we are going to call it for Slipknot for our final vote. The final matchup for the greatest new metal album of all time. It comes down to, not too surprisingly, Hybrid Theory from Linkin Park and Slipknot's self-titled album. What is it going to be? I'm really curious to see where this goes. I have in my mind the direction I'd like it to go, but I think I could be happy and understand either way. Like, these are both, like, top-notch, pinnacle new metal era albums. 100%. So what's it going to be, y'all? What's it going to be? Two different moods. Slipknot, the main event. This was the last great Korn album. I would kind of agree with that, too. Slipknot, Linkin Park sweep. It's Meteora. What's it going to be? Okay, Slipknot taking an early lead here with 40 votes. I was kind of expecting to see more of a split, but I'll give it a minute. The poll is up, and this is the final poll, y'all, so get your votes in. Hybrid Theory or Slipknot? Self-titled. Slipknot still strong lead at 52 votes, 65%. This is heresy. Both really defining albums. I would agree. Like these are like these two and Issues and White Pony, Toxicity. Like to me, those are like the defining era new metal albums. Yeah, sorry, Slipknot. I have to go with Linkin Park. Maggots. My inner child is suffering from this. Yeah, it's a tough vote, but yeah, looks like that's gonna be it, y'all. Final vote. Going once, going twice. Slipknot is the champion. Slipknot self-titled crowned the greatest new metal album of all time. That does it right there. That was really fun, y'all. Really, really appreciate it. For people watching the replay, I'll be sure to also put up some stuff on... there's a new metal playlist you can find either on the playlist tab, or I'll probably link it in the comments as well. All sorts of new metal tier lists. My two different top 10 videos of new metal albums. Love me some new metal in addition to everything else. And then there's some other bracket fights I've done live too. Excuse me. Really had fun with you all here. Thank you for warming my heart through a difficult time right now. Somebody saying this is outrageous. Not even a huge Slipknot plan. This was fun. Yeah, appreciate all of you. You make my heart so full, as corny and cringe as that is. Like it just gets me through tough times. Hopefully I'll maybe even do another one of these next week for melodic death metal. We'll see what my schedule looks like. But again, yeah, appreciate you all being here. And I think that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off.